Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple like Prince.
This is a conversation for all of us.
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
Talking about the debate, the Trump Biden whole thing. So
post debate.
Listen, we all building together. So if y'all got anything to add on, we'd love it. So
that's all I basically kind of want.
She got something. She like, man.
I try to watch it because I think it's important.
Yes.
But the energy, when I see Trump, I
kind of like, you know, the energy on you, right? We're doing bigger things now. Yeah. And we're looking for advertising.
And I knew I would hear.
So please, what you said is very important. I need to catalog that, and I'll expound upon it.
Okay.
Can you come forward just a little bit?
Yes, please.
And
Thank you.
She said something.
Right? Apparently they let me do it, so just think
So
about
I might be,
government.
I may not.
She's a government
Yeah, I work for the government, so it may not be the best thing, but just know that's
Do not allow anything to take you off of your square. It's the same thing like what we see right here. Yeah, it's cloudy, yeah, it's misty, but it ain't gonna stay like that forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We out here. You already know what it is. We here, Kid Life Production, KTL Empowerment.
Yes, KTL Plus. We are in the building.
Yes, sir. We here, as you can see. We are on the cusp. You know what I'm saying? Last night we just had, you know, the debate between the two top dogs, the red, the blue, you know, Republican, Democrat, Trump versus Biden. You know, the people are talking about, you know, who won the debate. I see Twitter, Instagram. Peace, Queen. All right. Everybody going crazy right now over this battle that we just witnessed.
Yes.
You know, this is, I guess, round one.
Yeah. I seen them. They literally was online rating it like a rap battle. You know what I'm saying? They was giving the rounds to each individuals. Oh yeah. They was weighing it out. They like, yeah, you know, Biden round one, and they was using different exclamation points because it was about punches, just like a rap battle is. Who got the quotables? You know what I'm saying? Trump understood how to feed his base. He had moments and he had quotables. He had memorable moments and he had quotables. And we seen how a quotable could trump a whole round.
Right. Donald Trump is a mean machine.
Yes,
right?
Mean machine.
He understands what 4chan is. He understands X. He understands his demographics, like Blue said. Yeah, he understands his base. He understands the soundbite. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't even answer questions. He was taking that as an opportunity to talk his shit. You know what I mean? To reinvigorate his base and whatnot. So, you know, I would say Vladimir Putin won.
Putin won.
Yeah. I mean, he was the most heavily quoted
I agree.
individual on that stage.
He was the boogeyman.
And yeah, he holds the balance of power because they've always trumped up Russia as the boogeyman, as the invisible boogie. And what Trump is saying is like, I got him in my back pocket. He was saying things that, you know, he was over talking.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? Like, nah, we just spoke. You know what I'm saying?
I was on the phone with him. He went.
I get this shit done by before January.
I get on the jack. Like,
so it sounds like collusion, but he's speaking about the power of relationships. And because they want to dangle Russia like it's the boogeyman, he's saying, well, if I got the extinguisher for that, then I should be your guy automatically because I have the better relationships. And this level of politics, it appears that it's, you know, coming down to relationships.
And not only relationships, but it's coming down to strong man. You know what I mean? Who is the strong man that could even sit in a room with another strong man? And in that argument, you know, he didn't even have to overtalk because it was clearly apparent that there was a person on the stage that was not a strong man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He was able to make that dichotomy.
Right.
That you cannot be the leader of the free world and be a weakling. You know what I mean? That's not even have to be pointed out. It's pointed out for itself. Could we start asking questions of people?
Of course.
We're doing a poll real quick about the debate last night. Does anybody want to offer any commentary?
I would if I wasn't late. I really would.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So not only did what Blue was pointing out, but we also saw the implications of Trump saying that Biden is so weak that the Ukraine president basically has him in pocket. You know what I mean? He's basically taking all of this money from him. And as you see, Biden on stage, if anybody could think, like, what would a negotiation look like with him? What would a sit down with anybody who's not 80 plus? The only way that he would get over on somebody if they were like 90, right?
Yeah.
And it would still be one of those things until the, you know, until the spittle starts coming out. Like, it was bad, yo.
Right.
It was bad, especially.
We're doing post-debate commentary. Would anybody like to offer any opinions about the debate last night? No. All right.
Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, let's build. Nah, we building. Go ahead.
Yeah. When you look at, I feel like a lot of the conversation was about. Like, I was listening to one of the reporters at CNN or one of them speak or whatever, or one of the panels, and they said this debate wasn't about things that we need to focus on. It was more about what it looked like, optics.
The optics.
So it had nothing to do with policy. It was more about optics. That's what they're talking about.
Debate. Right?
Yeah.
We have to establish something first.
How y'all look up there? Do y'all look presidential?
Right. We gotta establish the presidential look. Like,
right. Before, you know. Right. It's like, in a legal perspective, right? Let's take me for instance. When the Moors teach you how to go and they litigate, they got to establish jurisdiction before you speak about the case. Right? Before you speak about substance, they have to establish jurisdiction. You can't jump the gun and assume that they have jurisdiction and you get right into substance. So the political landscape is the same thing. You can't assume that this person is presidential just because they're running.
Yeah.
You can't presume this person is presidential just because they're president.
Right. So
where are we at?
It was almost like in boxing. This was the
first round.
This was the weigh-in because it was to show both of the parties if their man is the man, right? So
if they came in shape, if they wait,
henceforth, while the Democrats were alarmed, the minute I'm talking about
the
not 30 seconds when the bell rang after the thing was over, the party was saying.
They said a few minutes in.
Right.
I'm not even a Democrat. I was alarmed the first 30 seconds.
The first 30 seconds.
When I saw him walk out.
Right.
I was like, that ain't Joe Biden.
Right.
I was on X.
And I was watching it, and then I was looking at X in real time.
Yeah.
The hashtags was going crazy the first round. But the minute it was done with, CNN, MSNBC, the Young Turks, they started their campaign immediately to say, based off of this weigh-in, this is not our guy.
Yeah. Now, from you guys, your personal observation, how did Biden look up there? Like, did he, you know what I mean? With him stammering,
he looked ghastly. Right. There was no confidence there. He did not look like he was coherent. He didn't look like he knew where he was at, let alone that he was ready for the assignment. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Early stages of dementia.
Early stages, not only of dementia, but, you know, just like he just looked like you feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it went into the grandfather phase. So you're like, not only do you look like you're not with this, you look like you don't belong here at all. You look beyond geriatric.
Right.
You look you want to give him a hug and give him a warm bottle and tuck him in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look feeble.
And read him his last rites because you don't even know if he's going to wake up from this.
Right.
So we have to also take into account that these are two 80-year-old men campaigning. One of them, while they're doing, quote unquote, you know, the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Leader of the free world.
Leader of the free world. And this dude still shows up. Like today, he showed up on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
So this is the fact, we're at such a crazy place in society that we're giving them points just for waking up and showing up. Right? He gets a level of sympathy from us just from showing up. Just from waking up. Not showing out.
Yeah.
Just showing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Is enough to us to be like, oh,
Right.
my sentiments excited.
But the average American is required to pull a overtime, pull a double, pull a triple, you know, go get in the ring, let it all, you know what I mean, put it all on the floor, and then tomorrow you're expected to show up though.
Do it again.
But we have fallen into sympathy politics and whatnot, to whereas, you know, and that's not what you should be doing with your leader, especially if you need a strong man in office right now. We don't need a humble, a meek, you know, they say the meek shall inherit the earth. We don't need a feeble, meek, weak man to be in the seat of power when there are rumors of war, and there's proxy wars, and there's rumors of war, and there's provocations coming from multiple sides. This is a dangerous, quote unquote, 6 months.
Yeah, he's embroiled with a strong man. That strong man again would be Vladimir Putin, who is not only saying that I'm willing to test your chin, he's saying that y'all zesty. Right? So he's questioning the actual manhood of the country, the manhood of the leadership.
Wow.
By pointing out certain things that are not in line with what's considered to be even Western traditions of family. Where he's like, how can you allow this for your country? How can you allow this for this great Christian nation with the family dynamic? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's like, look, I'm more man than you. Right? I got more gonads than you. My testosterone is flowing better than yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We definitely know that there can be a knuckle up with this particular situation, but there's a military escalation based on the fact that Russia's saying America is responsible for provocation with the NATO nations that he declares to be aggressive and egregious, and he's like, yo, we about to test your jaw and take you to war. So the rumors of war are something that can't be ignored because it's so loud.
And just to mention in the debate, because y'all saying he weak and all that, but remember at one point Biden did come in and say, Putin don't want no smoke with me. Kim don't want no smoke with me. That's what he was saying to Trump. He said, those are your friends. You kissing up to these dudes.
Right.
But they know how busy I give it up. Like they not about to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he let it be known, I'm supplying Ukraine with $300 billion worth of weapons.
Right.
Yeah, I'm letting y'all know what's up. So what do you think about that? Because he kind of stood, you know, he let it be known like, yo, nobody wants to fuck with us. I can say all this weak shit.
Right.
Niggas don't want me to push the button.
Only time
his tough guy talk is falling on flat ears.
Okay.
He said too much. You know what I mean? He actually showed his hand. He actually showed his hand and kind of like showed that they're a little more deeper into this proxy war than certain people would even imagine.
Yeah.
Trying to prove toughness.
Right.
He showed his hand. He put too many cards on the table.
It's like, you want to play tough, and you take off the velvet glove and you start exposing the iron underneath it. You know what I'm saying? So he got a little too aggressive with showing his hand and telling the plans, because he told you what would it take for NATO to jump in. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's already pretty much known on a political landscape or what have you. But he, you know, again, for the sake of sounding tough, he came across sounding like Genocide Joe. Like, yeah, I got this over here in play and I got that in play. You know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. And it came down to a conversation, right? Again, based on relationships and relations, where Trump was like, oh, I was able to hold him at bay, not because he was necessarily threatened by the military might of the U.S., but we had relations. We was able to have a conversation, and I told him to stand down. Was he standing down because he was scared of the potential blow? He stood down because of respect.
Yeah.
Right.
And as they promote this anthem that they have to go around the globe to repair the damage that Trump caused in his last presidency, Trump made some pretty credible claims that's hard to overcome.
Right.
He's like, I kept them niggas at bay globally.
We didn't get in no wars.
We ain't getting no wars.
And it's feeding into his base, and the mentality of his base is that, you know, we them guys around the world, like, because of this good American hero motif, we could,
as long as we assholes.
Right.
Right. He's advocating the asshole aesthetic of saying, let's go back to the good old boy aspect of this U.S. thing.
Right.
That's what keeps them at bay.
Wayne type.
Here you go. You got this leftist, liberal, left-leaning liberal, zesty advocate.
Right.
And that's how the world looks at us, like we are a rainbow coalition.
Yeah.
Who respects the rainbow coalition globally? Ain't nobody scared of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And he, like he said,
So he's rebel rousing.
He was stupid successful, but rebel rousing. He has hijacked the narrative.
Right.
He has created an alternative universe.
How y'all brothers doing? All right?
And he continues to feed. He continues to feed his base with red meat. He knows exactly what their appetite consists of, and he's giving.
Yeah.
Whereas you would just have to ask yourself, does Joe Biden know his base? Does he know their appetite? And was he feeding and giving them that? Case in point, to show you that he don't. How you gonna come to Atlanta and block out black media, but then get up there and have a whole segment when you talking about what you did for black America?
Well, okay, you say he blacked out black media. Who specifically and what black media? I gotta ask that.
What I was told specifically is that they did not allocate any independent black media to participate. Atlanta Journal-Constitution is one, and there's a few other outlets that have been mainstays. I would think Rolling Loud. I would think Rolling Out, right? I would think that there's a few other mainstay media institutions here in the city of Atlanta that cover whatever is considered to be melanated affairs.
Okay.
Those institutions were not involved or not invited in what's considered to be a black metropolis in a platform that specifically, democratically, they utilize this platform and this base to cater to the most important voting bloc that decides this campaign. And it's not melanated women, it's melanated men.
Black men get out and vote type shit.
Right?
Yeah.
We are the deciding factor. We are the last undetermined voting bloc that can sway either way. Hence the fact that Trump is what now saying that these blacks, men specifically, are for Trump. He's not speaking about black women.
Yeah.
He said black men.
Yeah.
Right?
When he was in the Bronx, he brought out Chef G and all of the.
When he was in Pennsylvania, he brought out some rappers.
In Detroit.
Everywhere that he goes, he's tapping into that. And because, they're hive-minded, and that is enough to sway the quote-unquote black vote. Because the exception is now the rule. So you don't go to the church. You don't have to go to black radio.
You don't got to do none of that. And the rappers out.
And they're gonna make it trendy.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it a wave.
Right.
You feel me? And then presumably where they go, their women will follow to a degree. Right? That's how they're looking at it. So these are very, very interesting geopolitics that are taking place when you understand the scope of the importance of the melanated male voter, but it's a dichotomy involved. Because Project 25 says the biggest threat to America is the black male absentee father.
Damn.
Absentee father. But the Democrats said the same thing. They're borrowing from the Democrat playbook from the 60s when they wrote a PDF called The Negro Family. And Patrick Moynihan said that because of the destabilization of the black home and the absence of the black father, they're making black children obsolete because America has no place for them.
Damn.
They said America cannot cater to the weakest amongst us, which is a child that's not raised by his father, because they said that this is a society that does not cater to women and does not cater to children raised by women without a father being included.
Right.
So they suggested manumission, which was what? Let's just ignore them niggas. Let's write policy that's non-inclusive of them. Let's put them on social services and let's act as if they don't exist. Until we need a vote from them. The Republicans borrowed the same playbook because Project 2025 is about reinstating family, right? And they said the biggest threat to family is absentee fathers in the family. They said 70% of melanated families, or 70% of absentee families are melanated.
Wow.
So they specifically are speaking about the black male.
Right.
What did you guys think about the aspect of when Biden kind of started trying to call out Trump, as far as like what he did with the veterans, where he like, you know, you disrespected the troops and, you know, you called them punks and this, that, and the third, and he was like, Mr. Trump, you're the punk, and, you know, da-da-da, like he came at him on some gangster, though. Like trying to be like,
he tried, but Trump fainted him. He washed him like, shut up, nigga.
Right.
Again, the importance of controlling the narrative, and that's the point that he makes that's so important, right? If somebody cannot exhibit litigation or debate skills in a closed setting, right? Like battle rap, if you can't dominate a small room, how can you dominate a big room?
How can you get on the big stage?
And if you can't dominate a small room, on the way off, somebody gonna walk over you. If you can't dominate the way off, you're gonna get walked on, whether you on a small stage or a big stage, because I smell ussy. So homie made points that he couldn't follow through. He don't know how to land his plane. He's not debate ready. Trump knew how to, I'm gonna pour cold water on that, one, by not answering it, two, by flipping it on him, right? He's a master deflector.
Facts.
I've met Geminis, they got that shit down pat. Geminis and Leos, you can't deflect like them. You know what I'm saying? So he deflected and he projected. He turned it around on him, right? And hit him with the hard Yukin. It took Biden mad time to figure, oh, but you fired the, like, it was just so many ways that he could have put them bars better for the punchlines and the uppercuts. That you see where the weakness is at. Homie is not a litigator. Homie cannot pin the tail on a donkey. You know what I'm saying? What does he look like in closed door meetings litigating or advocating? You feel me? Trump told a nigga he's a Palestinian. And he's like, the Palestinians don't like you.
And he ain't even call him a Palestinian. He said, you one of them weak Palestinians.
He said, you a bad one.
He said, you a bad one. You a weak. You one of them ones they don't like. Like them.
You ain't even gangster with it. You don't even throw rocks.
He said he PLO. You not even Hamas.
Damn, son.
You know what I mean?
That's violation.
From the West Bank. He disrespected him.
He wilded on him.
He wilded on him. Well, like I said, he
up-rocked on him.
He is a mean machine. He was talking to 4chan. He was talking to his base. He was talking to the trailer parks. He was talking to Twitter. Everybody that, you know what I mean? And you know, that's
everybody that's online right now generating content. That's who he spoke to. And he gave them fodder for non-stop content.
Real talk.
That no Democratic talking points is gonna be loud enough to drown out the memes.
One of the most viral memes is when Biden finished speaking, he said, I don't know what he said. I know he don't know what he said. You know, we don't really know what he's really talking about. That was OG to me.
That's a battle rap body. That's like after Lux.
Like a rebuttal. Like,
that's like after Lux had an amazing third. You know what I'm saying? And somebody come after and be like, Brother Muncie. We don't know what he's saying. We don't know what he's saying. Can I get an interpreter, please? You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, speak to us niggas down here, you know, in the short bus section. And
it was too easy.
He isolated him with that, froze him, bodied him. Because he was right.
He didn't even know he was being cooked.
Did you know, what did he say?
I didn't know what he was saying leading. I was like, he's stumbling.
He was losing his
he's
train
trying.
of
He's losing his train of consciousness.
It appeared to me that
he's not coherent.
Somebody might have been in his ear. It looked like he was taking cues from somewhere else. But the cues was just too much. And he was like, look, I can't.
He couldn't put it together.
Shit wasn't clicking.
I never seen him blink.
When you guys talked about how the Democrats felt, what does this mean for the Democrats and for Biden going forward?
Well, again, I watched the post-debate commentary. It came in immediate, and I was about to turn because I was like, I don't want to hear CNN slacking this nigga. Like, let me get the real.
Yeah.
Right.
But
they ain't waste no time.
It was on him.
Immediately. They kept it real, and I give them credit for that. They could not remix this. They couldn't spin it. You know what I mean? They had to keep it real. And they said that they were getting calls from Democrat operatives. They was getting called super donors. They was getting called from governors. They was getting called from people who
I heard even Obama was sending his messages.
Yeah. They said people who would be on the ticket with him. Was calling in like, yo.
It was the black shorty, right, who was talking about this?
Everybody on CNN. It was the dude that looked a little Mediterranean first. I don't know his name. Hope I'm not being disrespectful. But then the sister came in,
right?
And then Van Jones, you know, it hurt him to say it.
Yeah,
he's like, I worked for Biden.
I love that guy.
I was
He's
part
a
of the
serial
administration.
Crier. He was a nigga crying.
I thought that he was gonna burst in tears
and got a bag
and shit
for crying. But they had two scripts because this conversation about replacing Biden was already out for about a week now. Okay, we picked up on that about a week ago, and they were already talking about replacement. So they had two scripts. One, if he did moderately well, they had that script prepared where they were going to get behind him, the machine was going to beef him up, they were going to, you know. But then they also had the script where they were prepared to say, instead of getting into everything else that they were just going to say that there needs to be a replacement. They were going to make the clarion call that the party has to restructure moving forward.
Is there enough time for that though?
It definitely is.
It's November.
It is.
You think they got enough time to bring a new candidate to replace Biden?
You know, me listening to the political commentary about how these things are done, they said that this was the earliest debate ever, and they said the Democrats specifically were the one to position this date because they wanted to utilize this as a test, as a litmus test before they got too deep where they couldn't pivot.
Right.
You feel me? So this ability that they have, it's not July yet. We're at the end of June. The convention takes place August 19th in Chicago. The last time, I think that the Chicago convention in the 60s was where they did a flip at. I forgot which flip in particular. But I know politically they do these flips at the conventions. I remember they said that they have they flipped with Goldwater. And this was 68 convention when they were supposed to bring in not Nixon.
He was going against Nixon.
Yeah, he went against Nixon. No,
LBJ.
He might have went against LBJ, right? Barry Goldwater, because he was running on a segregated ticket. And they were supposed to bring in, don't quote me, it might have been FDR. One of them dudes, goddammit. Right? Look,
RFK Jr.
Long story short, they do these flips at the convention. So it's not too late. You know what I mean?
It ain't.
It's not too late. But again, it brings a wider conversation into play. Fuck the elections. Is he fit to lead? For the next 4 days, let alone 4 weeks, let alone 4 months.
But we've been seeing this then. So if he's not fit to lead, then who's running shit? Who's putting the plays together? Like, you know what I mean?
Kamala Harris.
Right.
So know that for sure.
So this is what they said. This is what the Republicans also pointed out, and I heard the Democrats say it to their chagrin, right? They say, shit, Kamala's more hated than Joe.
Damn.
They said that she's more unelectable than him. They said if you want to ignite this country and set this shit on fire, right? Put her as the presumptive candidate.
Wow.
Right? Because then you're going to ignite a level of racialism, right? And sexism that's unprecedented. There's stigmas that go, right? And especially in a Christian nationalist nation or a Christian-minded nation or a religious-minded nation with putting a woman in place. Now, I'm not saying that this is an ideal that I hold to, right? But in a Christian nationalist and a Masonic and a Freemasonic society, you feel me? Where there's just certain things understood about what that means, what it signals, they're not going to put a woman in office while they're attempting a culture war
Yeah.
to resuscitate Christian nationalism and turn this place into a theocracy.
It goes against what they
These
trying to do.
people
Yeah.
will hit the streets and tear shit up, right? Before they allow a Kamala to get in there. And then I was watching Kamala today, and I'm just like, and I don't expect her to be honest, but the disingenuousness of politicians. Where she was like, you know, he got off to a slow start. I think we all can agree upon that, but he finished great. No, he finished horribly. That's why people are so concerned, because he mumbled through his finishing. He didn't land his plane.
He was getting worse as it went further.
He got worse as it went along.
Whereas you just
it was obvious what we were looking at.
Right.
And the question remains, who runs this country on a day-to-day basis? Who's reading the intel briefs?
Who is?
Who's making the intelligence decisions, and who's responsible for the economic plight of this country? That's a corporation. You have to be responsible for transnational corporations around the world that are called U.S. interests. Who's making these decisions? Is it Joe Biden saying, I'm going to send X amount of weaponry to XY? How do you know? How would he know?
I heard it was Hunter. They said Hunter running shit.
So we, you know, oh, go ahead.
Nah.
You said Hunter running shit.
They said Hunter running. Hunter Biden got shit.
Let me ask you this: Is Michelle Obama? Because I keep hearing them talk about Michelle Obama.
Her name out there.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Presidential though.
Okay, so because I keep hearing like
she's not presidential.
She would be good.
And what they said, I read an article about her yesterday, and they said she has not. If you notice, she's not hit the campaign trail. Nor has she endorsed.
So she's not even trying to get into this shit.
She don't fuck with the Bidens. She got beef with the Bidens. She don't fuck with the Bidens at all, because she's best friend with Hunter's ex-wife. Now Hunter dumped his ex-wife to marry Bo's ex-wife, his dead brother,
the widow.
He left his whiz to get with his dead brother's widow.
Is this love in politics?
Yes. So the Obamas left the Biden's crib recently and was like, they on some weird shit. So Michelle can't endorse the weird shit going on, because she's like, these people is unscrupulous. They don't have no principles. So why they don't tell that story? That the people who was responsible for bringing Biden in don't want to fuck with him.
That's crazy.
Right. But we talking about another 4 years. Right. But then again, she's like, am I more terrified? Again, people is voting out of fear rather than love. That should tell you something. What's the fear? The Democrats that want to vote Democrats are scared of a Trump presidency, and the people who want to vote for Trump can't stand Biden. But who loves their candidate?
Right, there's no love here.
Who loves the future of what their candidate represents? Who love the prospects of what these particular administrations could potentially bring to America that puts this country back in the footing where it can compete globally? Who loves the country anymore?
And the Globe done formed Voltron during this last 4 years. The Globe they done tied their rags together. You know what I'm talking about? They done got on stage. They did the picture with Kendrick. You know, that's bricks for you. You know what I mean? Gang, gang. All of these different sets came together. So America can't do that right now.
So, well, with the way it's looking, do you think it's going to be, with the way it's looking with Biden, do you think it's going to be like a rush to try to put somebody else in place? Or do you think they're going to ride or die?
5 months? If I had it, if I was running shit, I would replace him right now. Even he needs to be removed from presidency.
Take him out of office.
Fuck running against Trump. He needs to be removed. They need to sign an executive
like impeach
order.
him or something?
Not impeach him.
Just get him out.
You just got to get out.
He got to sit down. Go to the nursing home. Go to hospice. Nigga, wherever you most comfortable, get him out the way.
There's a level of incompetency.
Right. We are on a ghost ship.
How you doing? We got a question real quick, if you guys have a second.
What's your question?
Yesterday, okay, go ahead.
Some commentary post debate, right? So does anybody have anything to offer about what y'all seen the debate last night? You heard about it?
Did not get to.
Okay. Anybody here potentially voted?
I think Joe Biden need to get it up. He's too old.
See?
He can't even talk right. He can't talk. His language fucked up.
The language fucked up.
He can't spit it out right. He can't spit it out right.
Yeah, the country, you would expect that the quote-unquote leadership, we need great communicators, right? Because there's a lot of noise in the world right now. So if somebody can't articulate their own positions to defend themselves, how can they defend the country? Yeah, right.
Facts, brother.
Appreciate you. Go ahead.
The country and now, as far as us in debt and everything else, I think Trump will be the best bet because he's not gonna run it like
into the ground.
Yeah, he gonna run it like a business.
That's right.
He gonna bring money into the country, and he gonna keep it flowing.
Yeah, you have it. Yeah,
Thank you, boy.
No problem.
Love.
So
damn.
Right now, where people are being pinched at the pocket, you know,
facts.
Inflation is turning into hyperinflation.
This dude is touting his economic record like we ain't heard.
Yeah,
so he's living in a complete farce, or he's living in a dream.
Y'all speaking about that? Did y'all peep the part where there was like even the people who was asking the question where they said, yeah, groceries was 100, now it's 120. People said, what? My shit like 400 for the same thing I was paying 100. It's like, yo, who said 120? Like y'all bugging.
Obviously, y'all shopping at all
120.
Yeah,
so we're realizing how out of touch people are with reality of the country. Right? And it's like, is the president and the administration so isolated they really don't know what's going on? How do you have the audacity to get up there and tout economic successes? Like, I did X, Y, and Z. I cut a student loan and I cut this, and I'm like, nigga.
Right. And if they fact check me on Facebook every time I upload something, where the hell was the fact checkers last night? I mean, I know that they didn't invite nobody in the audience, but we live in a digital era. I need facts to be checked. The minute you say something, I need a color
targeted,
a color coded thing or something.
My shit don't take but 15 seconds.
Right.
My shit different, right? The way that they scrutinize my posts. So if I have a dedicated team
while
to
you're
me,
uploading it,
while I'm uploading it, they scrutinize it because my shit
got the bots. They got the bots now.
No, while it's uploading, my shit don't upload without it being putting through a filter system, and then when it uploads, if something jumps the gun, it don't take but 15 seconds.
That's a fact.
For me to get a notification that I'm being penalized for a particular post.
Yeah.
So where was the fact checkers, right? Again, you got a concept that you are looking at. I got a concept that I am standing true to, that I'm like, Trump created an alternative dimension when he came in, and that alternative dimension deals with alt news and alt facts, right?
Yeah.
And he, again, defended that position by every time they asked him a question from this dimension, he took him into his alternative dimension.
Took him into his own world.
Even to the point where Biden said, you're lying. This is a complete lie.
Bro, they asked him a question.
Right.
He spent 3 minutes answering the question from before.
Facts.
Right.
And because he had to clear up whatever points was made before then. So he's like, I'm not.
That was master deflection.
I'm not asking. I'm not just about to just answer what y'all talking about. You heard what he said. Now I'm cleaning this up.
It was deflection and destruction.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna destroy what you just said.
Right.
I'm gonna deflect from the actual question that was answered, and I'm gonna conflate it long enough that either you forget it,
right,
or you gotta compound it with another question when you come in, so I could just give you a 10-second soundbite and move on.
Facts.
Because I'm gonna hit you below the belt with the deflection shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna push a button to whereas you'll forget that you asked me this question and defend what I just said about Hunter or whoever else. Right? Because he came at his son.
Yeah.
At a day and time when Bronny just got drafted with his
dad.
pops. You know what I mean? He coming after Hunter.
Yeah, so he knew how to trigger him because that triggered him. That's when he went to Fire Marshal Bill mode.
He went into full
and he's
Fire
like,
Marshal.
Let me tell you something. You can't talk about my junior like that.
He said, you're a punk. You're a punk.
You're a punk.
right? So the name calling, the mudslinging.
He's looking like old man Quillas up in there.
Old man Quillas, right? And these supposed to be, once again, the leaders of the free world, right? That are telling you that there's actual boogeyman out there that mean real business right? I mean, people are doing some demonstratively demonic, devilish shit out there on the world stage when it comes to, up in the score.
Yeah.
So it's like, these are the dudes that you feel would be adequate enough to go against the strong men out there in the world that really mean business.
Yeah.
I don't feel confident in either one of them could get that job done. So then it comes to who can he potentially be replaced with. You're looking at, again, because Michelle ain't in the race, she's non-presidential.
Gotcha.
You're looking at Gavin Newsom.
California maniac.
Who's that?
Gavin Newsom, the governor of California.
Okay.
Right? And he might keep Kamala on a down ticket, and they just might run a whole Cali ticket because they both from California.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They mentioning some other people
who are not ringing no bells.
Yeah, who ain't ringing no bells.
The pickings as slim as them all.
You know what I mean? But also, for the first time ever, not to cut you, my brother, I just want to put this in. For the first time ever, and I heard it on CNN, they were asking, where's the third party candidates at? Now,
name was coming
when I started doing my research initially, because they had brought,
Uh-oh, Marty McFly.
He popped out.
Yeah.
They had brought Cornel West to us for interviews.
Yes.
And I started looking into his campaign. And I was like, I'm always gonna have a self-interest in a melanated candidate.
Hell yeah.
And he was in the Matrix, right? So, Cornell got a different type of place in pop culture. And one day I had a dream, and the dream showed me a scenario. Trump had went to jail, and Biden had died. And then it was just RFK, Cornell going against Kamala. Right? And it was like, yo, he could win. Because there was no chance at one point that Trump could win. I remember when Obama couldn't win at one point.
Yeah,
I remember when I met Obama in 2007, he came to the Brooklyn Marriott before he announced his presidency. He had zero chance of winning. Right? So I'm like, shit, who knows? I heard them having that conversation yesterday, like, yo, where's the third party candidates at? And we can't rule them out because this shit is so disastrous.
Bad.
It's so bad. It went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
That they have to start asking the questions.
Who else is running?
Hey, who else is out there?
Who else is like? Are these the only choices we have?
Who else we got? Shit.
Yeah.
We in it.
It's like choosing between getting shot or stabbed.
How you doing today?
Commentary about the debate, post-debate commentary. Does anybody have anything to go on? She got balls.
But what is yours? What is your post?
We're media, so it's apolitical. I'm just taking an observation about what we saw. So do you want to tell us what you saw and how you feel?
I don't really want to say. But what do you saw? You tell me what you saw.
I saw a disaster.
You saw the what?
I'm concerned.
You're concerned. What are you concerned about? Because he didn't perform.
I'm concerned about there being no viable options.
What do you mean, no viable options for what? What do you mean?
On either side, that both of them look somewhat horrible, and it didn't make me confident. I don't feel confident.
You compare these two guys? The liar, the felon?
If I'm being locked into, again,
what has he done? Look how much what he's done for the country already. Biden has proven himself. Because he has a mess up and a gas and a bad night, doesn't mean he's going to throw the bed.
I'm just saying, but does he look like he has the coherency to carry another 4 years?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen 4 years, but that's what he's coherent now. We're hoping for.
We're voting for another 4 years.
Yeah, we're voting for another 4 years.
And it's a vote of confidence. So I'm saying, if I'm casting a vote,
we're voting to maintain our democracy.
I'm standing next to him and saying, this is our guy. And I feel confident that yes, you can carry the ball over the cross, the end goal.
Yeah. Since when you can be driving down the street and have a car accident today, and you're running the country. What happens? Does the country stop, or do we continue?
We continue. I would like to think that we continue.
I think I really truly believe that was healthy. Like, this is a conversation we had because it's not all one thing, and our people don't feel one way about the whole subject.
Bro, I love to input. We need more. We need to hear from the people more like that.
Facts.
To say, yo, this is what I feel, this is how I feel it, and I'm unwavering.
She didn't mention the crime bill, 94.
She didn't.
She glossed over the fact that Biden put a whole lot of niggas in jail.
And again, that's not for us to debate with her and go through the talking points.
This is getting her perspective, how she felt.
Her perspective. Yeah. And she said something about misdemeanors and weed charges as opposed to the crime bill with crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And I was incarcerated in the 90s, so I was incarcerated specifically.
So you was affected by what Biden did.
1995 in Virginia, where they first passed that because it kicked in on January 1st, 1995. My charge that I got was in 94, and I didn't get in there. I wasn't locked up for drugs, but I seen what happened with 95, and I'm gonna tell you, there was people coming in there, right? First offense, 35 years.
Sheesh.
2 sales, crack cocaine.
Commonwealth.
And the crack cocaine wasn't more than like a 20 piece, but they were selling the undercovers. 19-year-old boy, right? 19-year-old. I remember this young man. He was 19. Got 35 years.
Matter of fact, Red, when we was talking to my man E the other day, he said, he actually literally said, yo, he got a man that just did 35 years for $20 worth of crack.
Right. That's what I'm trying to
35 years.
I was there.
Just shocked when he said it.
I was there. And he got knocked in Arlington. So Northern Virginia is right across the bridge from DC. They passed the legislation in DC and they tried it out in Virginia because it's a Commonwealth.
Yeah.
96% Republican. Alexandria, right? Arlington and Fairfax. They gave this young boy 35 years. And he was on joke time because he don't write yet. You know what I'm saying? I guess it ain't registered. 85% of the time you got to bring to the door. Right? 85%.
Sheesh.
I'm looking at him like, do you know what just happened to you? They called it the truth in sentencing. Right? Zero tolerance.
Yeah.
That's the crime bill.
Now, let me ask you this, right? The first half, we really spent a lot of time on Biden and things like that. The sister made me realize we ain't spending enough time on Trump. Good or bad, what did you think of him in the debate? You know,
again, like I said, he controlled the narrative with his alternative version of reality.
Yeah.
No time did Trump's open his mouth do I ever expect the truth to come out.
Okay.
So that already tells you what I feel about him.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But that is the signature tail sign of a politician as well. Because what politician tells us the truth?
Yeah.
Right. He's touting his resume as a businessman, which has already been discredited and disproven in a court of law. Now, they could call it a political witch hunt, but what I'm saying is that do the discovery and read the documents yourself. You could say that he's a very tactful businessman because he understands, you know, the thing that loopholes and things of that nature. So he's able to move the way that, quote unquote, most rich people in this country move. Yeah. By way of loopholes. It's not a fair game. It was never meant to be. You know what I'm saying? But he's a disastrous businessman. He does not have a successful business record, and you know that because there's no integrity whatsoever in him.
Got you.
Right. And I don't really need to hear what he's saying out of his mouth. I just needed to read Project 2025.
Got you.
To understand what's coming, and that's not something that he's going to get on the stage and talk about. But I understand what he represents, and I understand the, I know the policy that's going to follow him.
Right.
So, and what I do know is that it's going, Christian nationalism and evangelical Zionism is something that I'm not here for that. Like, that's not something that I'm here for,
Gotcha.
So it doesn't entice me. I don't necessarily, I know that the economy is what it is, but I'm not, that's not something that I'm looking towards him per se as a man, as a figure, as a businessman to affect my pockets or my wallet. No, I'll never give him that much power.
Hey, sis, you got a second? You got a second?
Doing some commentary real quick.
You got a quick second? I wanted to ask you a question. If you got a second. It's raining.
1 minute.
We all here together. You come here for a second? We just building, we just having a conversation and everything like that. We was talking about the presidential debate yesterday. And we just wanted to get your opinion, that's all. How y'all felt?
Yeah.
If that's okay.
We're doing commentary about, post-debate.
Okay.
You didn't watch it?
What do y'all think about it nonetheless?
I mean,
you said that's our only options?
You guys still seem like you're voting age or what have you. Have you ever voted before? Do you plan to vote in the upcoming election?
I mean, it's like a lose-lose situation, but sure.
Right. Are you weighing out your options in terms of,
man that could drop dead at any given moment, a racist, convicted felon.
What are we left with? Man that could potentially drop dead at any moment versus a felon. Unfortunately, that's what we left with. Do you have a decision between those two? Are you compelled to, do you feel enthusiastic about voting? Because you guys you represent the future of this country.
Yeah, I definitely represent the future.
Now, how does this make you feel in terms of, citizens of this country? Do you feel confident about its future if this is the perceived leadership? Would you rather see a woman in president?
Yeah. No.
Kamala should replace Joe?
I mean, that's the option we have, but I don't know much about it. She hasn't been kind of at the forefront of the presidency or connected as I would imagine.
Make herself known to us for policies.
Yeah.
Right. She ain't come to no barbecues. Well, I want to thank you for stopping and giving us some of your time and your commentary. Appreciate you. All right.
Like that real.
Big drop. Thank you.
Peace, Queens. Love.
Thank you.
So, as we can see, they represent the future, and they like, damn, we ain't got no. She said we ain't got no choice off rip.
Right.
Like there ain't no choice.
It's a feeling of helplessness to certain people.
At least with Obama, it felt like we had some level of a choice, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, people was all in.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a question about it.
There wasn't even a question. I'm sure. How you doing, brothers? All right, peace. All right. You got a question? You got time? I got a question. Please. We having I don't know if you got a chance to see the debate yesterday, the presidential debate. Even if you didn't see it, what's your thoughts on what's going on and the options that we have?
First of all, I ain't political.
Right.
Number two, Biden once was a stone cold racist. Who can forget segregation today, segregation tomorrow? Tomorrow without the T.
Right.
So, dude, this is straight up, man. Hey, I don't know.
Crime bill. Right.
But what a lot of people gonna talk about, I ain't no Trump fan, but what a lot of niggas gonna talk about is back in the day, in the 70s, niggas couldn't get no loans for their businesses. Yeah. Banks was racist. They would go to who? Trump. And he would give them niggas loans to start their businesses. And when it come time to pay up, he'll be like, well, did you start your business? Yeah. Well, you don't owe me nothing. I'm your business. Yeah. They don't talk about that.
Real?
Wow.
Real. Facts.
Okay.
Wow.
Look it up.
Wow.
Look it up, man. So, hey, you do the math.
Any words you want to leave for the people as far as just this election, just from your wisdom and you being around?
To be honest with you, no matter who the president is, we really ain't gonna see no changes or feel it. Maybe.
Thank you, brother. Love, appreciate you.
So
that was deep.
Yeah, that's a point that
I never
really
heard
deserves a little more of a deep dive, because it's the same sentiments that was echoed recently by one of the founders of the Black Panthers. That he said that they was able to go to Trump to get the bag.
Wow.
In the 80s. I've heard this commentary repeated on several different occasions about people that was like, before he flipped, they was able to go and get the bag for him. Now, I don't want to conflate that comment with, or the comment that the sister said earlier by saying Trump called for the death penalty of the Central Park 5.
He took out a whole article, everything.
Right? Yeah, he took a full page article out. That happened. I remember it. And I speak aggressively against it to this day. Right? Whereas you have Biden that pushed actual legislation. Right? And people is just now coming home after the 90s, if even. So, again, what are we weighing? Are we weighing someone who made a suggestion about criminalizing? He was riding a wave of sentiment at the time.
Yeah.
Right? People wanted them young men's heads for what they had been perceived to have done.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas this person is very hypocritical where his son is a crack addict, right? But he was responsible for pushing legislation to criminalize us as a people and show the disparities between quote-unquote cocaine and crack cocaine. And you know that was specifically ethnic driven. Yes, targeting people. So
smoke a lot of crack.
That absolutely destroyed
with the hookers
melanated family. Yes. His son is the prototype, right? Of crackheads going wild. We've never heard him say anything.
He actually showed love to his son yesterday. We've
never heard him say
he put his son, yo, don't
anything.
talk about my son, yo, he's a war hero. And all that good stuff.
He was speaking about Bo Biden.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So
in terms of the war hero, but still, he defends Hunter to this day.
Got you.
That's his son, right? And he's not willing to throw his son away. But think how many sons
he threw away.
Think how many fathers got thrown away. Right? Think about how many fathers were deprived of the opportunity to raise their children because of the legislation that was passed by him. Like I said once again, where someone for a sale of crack cocaine can do anywhere from 10 to 20 years. 2 sales, this young man, I've seen him specifically get 35 years, and I'm sure that's a broad spectrum of stories that go across the board. You feel me?
Ultimately, when we look back at this debate, who y'all saying took the first round? When y'all look back at the first round,
took everything. What you mean?
Trump called a dirty 30.
Not even a gentleman. 30. Like it was up. 30.
But all right, just like battle rap, right? I mean, it's not always the case, but you know, we base things on if your story's authentic. You know, those like you could make up something about me. You could say something about me, but if it's real, it hits that much harder. Is Trump being real? Is Trump speaking the truth? Like if we fact check, is he real on the points?
No, nothing that he says is founded in truth, bro.
Got you.
It's how he feels.
Got you. So we just hype off the fact that he said the bar. Period.
We knew that he's a meme machine. If anybody thought going into this debate that Trump was finna take an L, I don't know what kind of Zaya smoking. You know what I'm talking
and again, because we exist in a social media era, it's like the stuff that I be telling some of my compatriots that might be elders, right?
Yeah.
Some of my compatriots that are elders, they make the illest jewelry, right? They make the illest painting. They might be the illest herbalists. I told them, I was like, you could get out-marketed by a faceless page on Instagram that understands marketing.
Yeah, true.
Better than you.
True.
Right? Someone could take your own story and sell it to the world better than you can.
Way better.
If you do not understand marketing.
Very true.
So, again, what Trump understands is meme. He's a meme magician. He understands the power of the meme. He understands the power of the soundbite. He understands the power of the now. That it don't matter if you go and fact check. People are not going to go back to that commentary. They're only involved with what happens right here on this stage. If I'm punching your lights out, right, that's the only thing that counts. It's the same thing that we see in battle rap. It's the same thing we see in the quote-unquote commercialized battle raps. Taking case in point, Drake and Kendrick. Right? They punching in real time. Then people want to go and do the post analysis
fact
to say,
check and did he really,
was there any truth?
Did he really beat his girl, or did he?
He already got his lights punched out. And then you go after and do the research, and you start dismantling and finding out, oh, this ain't true. Oh, this was planted. And you start scrutinizing it, but the damage has already been done. So we find these artists, we find these candidates in the same situation as these artists. Ironically enough, it's a showdown between a Gemini and a Scorpio, just like Kendrick and Drake. So we see them in this situation where wherever whatever happens to Biden that is unfavorable is now going to be attributed to Trump. Whatever happens to Drake that's unfavorable is going to be attributed to Kendrick. He can't naturally fail. He can't naturally bump his head. He can't get a regular split lip. He can't get a normal black eye.
He can't fall up the stairs.
He can't fall up the stairs. And I'm talking about Drake and I'm talking about Biden.
Yeah.
They can't, any misstep that they make.
Both of them
It's blowing up.
Both of them are on a clock under the microscope. Anything that perceivably happens to them that's unfavorable goes to power up their opponent to make them look supernatural.
And even old things that they said, old things is coming back to today, and it seems like, yo, I seen a dude listening to Drake old song and he mentioned like something with a girl and they're like, oh, like, so it's like they taking everything now.
And everything, right? So they're scrutinizing and they're auditing your whole catalog, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be the same thing with these politicians.
Yeah.
They're going to scrutinize and they're going to audit everything going forward and some things going backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now they're prisoners of their own. They're prisoners of their own workings. Like, you can't make no mistakes. Or it's gonna go towards the story that now your opponent knocked you and you wobbling and you still punch drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They done destroyed your whole situation. Right. And I think that what we saw yesterday, regardless of what the lady says, no offense to her, but we're watching the destruction of a brand.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no way back. The same way they say about Drake. They're like, how do you come back from this?
Come on, brother.
Which presents
come build with us. Come build.
With some interesting, these are interesting challenges to Scorpios, because Scorpios naturally...
No, I just want to ask you a question. You can stand right here. What's your thoughts about what's going on right now with the presidential debate and the presidents and things like that? What's your opinion on just what's happening right now in the world with the presidency? I don't know if you got a chance to see the debate or anything, or the memes or anything going on after that, but let me get your opinion.
Nothing of that nature. I didn't get a chance to see the debate. I have been like so busy that I cannot
tap in. Right.
Yeah, right. Tap in. However, I hope for the best.
What do you think about the choices we have, Trump and Biden?
Right. They play God.
Okay.
They think they God. Like,
are you a voter? Have you voted before? Do you intend on participating in this upcoming election?
No, sir.
Okay.
Why not?
Because I didn't feel like my vote counted. Because
watch out, the water. You good.
Sorry, because I was like I felt like they say that the presidential shit goes to like the
electoral college and things
the
like that.
electoral college. So I never felt like more so I will vote for the governor of the city.
Got you.
I will vote for like the leaders of my city.
So local politics, you're into
local politics, yes sir.
Right. So presidential politics, you feel that your vote won't necessarily count.
No sir.
So you're gonna sit this one out. But if you can cast a vote of confidence for either candidate, is it either one of them that is pulling on your confidence vote?
And you said it's Trump and Biden?
Yes.
Yeah, between Trump and Biden, is there any of them that kind of intrigue you in any way?
Because you look like you represent the future of this country, right? Who do you feel confident about leading you into the future?
Y'all feel like Trump gonna let us see a couple another? Y'all feel like Trump gonna help us see a couple thousand again?
We're asking.
No, this is listen.
You're the future of this country.
And that's a valid thing that you said, because a lot of people are looking at Trump as he's the one that's going to bring us the bread or this and the third, right? That's a mindset, right? Do you feel that way? The same question you're asking us. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely.
Oh, so you feel like Trump gonna bring the money back?
Trump will bring the money back.
Okay.
Respectful.
Okay. That's we got to honor that. All right.
Trump.
Nah, real talk. Tell the people they can follow you.
Shit, lowercase, no, it's not lowercase. Underscore 187 Chris. Underscore 187 lowercase Chris. Follow me on Instagram.
Appreciate you.
Follow me on Instagram and I will follow you guys back.
Love, thank you, man. Thank you.
Got this lovely lady.
Peace,
right
queen. Yes.
Peace.
Yes, I'm just coming over here with this energy of y'all because
This is my twin right here. This is Blue. I'm Red.
I'm the grandmother of twins. Okay, twin boys. What's your name?
I'm Blue. This is Red.
Well, he from Brooklyn.
We got the same name. My name is Amira. Your mother's name.
That's right.
Yeah, we used to swing around. How's she doing? I haven't seen her in a while. Y'all here in Atlanta now?
Yeah, we're back.
How long y'all been here?
2 years.
Tell me why.
Okay, what brought y'all back? 2019?
Yeah.
What brought y'all? Y'all was in New York, right?
Yeah.
What brought you back to Atlanta?
New York fell apart. No, before I was flying into New York coming from somewhere, and I flew over Queens, and it had just snowed. So the snow was dissipating, and I was flying into JFK, and it looked like tombstones. And the spirit said to me, it said, look, New York is unsanitary. If anything would have happened here, it's the last place we want to be. So I just started getting in my mind based on that sanitary situation that I just ain't want to be here. And I was coming back and forth to Atlanta, and Atlanta was such a dichotomy in terms of its cleanliness, openness, and my ability. Rain. I'm a snowbird. I don't like no cold weather, even though I live in New York. So I left in December of 2019 on the solstice and got down here and started learning about the impending COVID because I was reading the news and I started seeing China. And I was like, I followed my spirit and it must have told me that this was coming.
Well, look, see, you just pulling me. That's exactly what I was going to say about this whole thing, about this, because I'm not into I'm not. I mean, to get into a debate is too emotional.
Right.
It's too emotional. It's a trick.
It is a trick.
So I'm just trying to keep everybody, to stay encouraged by this bullshit because it ain't nothing but a distraction.
It's theater.
But you can get encouraged by it because it's something that ain't nothing new, but they trying to make it like it's new,
Right.
But those who's acting like it's new, they haven't studied anything. So, the ones that's calm and chill about it, because everybody be like, this Trump, this, and I was like, good.
Right.
He gonna get in there.
Right.
You better just know it because he didn't have no business in there in the first place. But then if you study,
How are you? Hello, I'm sorry, I'm too
You're more than welcome.
I know y'all be fly.
Y'all all more than welcome.
How are you?
nice to meet you.
Good. I'm sorry, I hope y'all learn.
No. Y'all, this is a conversation for all of us.
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
Yeah,
Talking about the debate, the Trump Biden whole thing. So
Post-debate.
listen, we all building together. So if y'all got anything to add on, we'd love it. So
that's all I basically kind of want.
She got something. She like, man.
I try to watch it because I think
This
it's
is our new
important.
camera.
Yes.
But the energy,
It's on
when I
TV
see
now, so kind of like,
the
energy on YouTube,
right?
but we're doing bigger things now. Yeah, and we're looking for
And I
advertising.
knew I would hear.
Yes. So please, what you said is very important, and I need to catalog that, and I'll expound upon it.
Okay.
Can you come forward just a little bit?
yes, please.
And
Thank you.
She said something, right?
Merely they let me do it, so just think
So I
about
might
the
be,
government.
I may not.
She's a government
Yeah, I work for the government, so it may not be the best thing, but just know that's
So the intuitive nature of the women's spirit is saying that they're looking at something and they are feeling something, right? It's obvious to them. Melanated men, for whatever reason, are putting it to the backside, of course, and they're like, he's good for the economy. Knowing damn well he cut you a check when a pandemic happened. So in order for him to get you the check, you're saying that you want another situation to happen? Because how else was he good for the country? You know what I'm saying? The money came after the disaster. But women instinctively know something when they see it. It speaks a language to them where the men have to be so logical that you got to over-convince them. And they are, for whatever reason, they're being dismissive of their discernment.
All I have to say is I am so thankful that we are using our voices to take advantage of free speech. We're trying to steal so many rights. So we applaud you all for coming out in a time that's very perfect because everyone's talking about it. So I'm glad we're also talking about it.
That's why we need to hear what you guys
That's right. Thank you. It's so good to always see.
So was it you that came? Was it this young man that came to the event or this one?
So she remembers. She pointing with the paper. So Corey, remember you and Corey did the talk? So she's remembering.
I was there. Okay. I didn't realize there were that you all were. Yes.
And guess what we're supposed to be? I really feel like even though it was the debates, we all know that's the real reason. I feel like we manifested this because literally, you know where we were supposed to be tonight? We were supposed to be at Serenbe seeing, it was a private event with the woman that created the artwork from Black Panther.
Wow.
And I thought about you, you know why? You already know why.
Where's she at?
She's at Serenbe. But we have her contact information. But yeah, I can show you.
Fletcher?
Yeah. So once she created all the jewelry, so when you think about Angela Bassett's character, she's the one that created all of the art, the jewelry.
Wow.
So we were supposed to be there, but we couldn't pull away deadlines. But there's still contact. But yeah, I'll send you her page. I will. Whoop, don't worry. It's not gone. It's not gone. So. But that's why it happened. On top of the other things.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Very good seeing you.
All right.
Y'all be well.
Thank you.
Give your mom my love, please. Tell her Amira. I will. I can keep up with y'all, right?
And this is what we have a powerful lecture coming up on Sunday with Vicky Dillard. I don't know if you know.
You good? You alright?
When you hurt his ankle.
You hurt the ankle?
Yeah, he said broken in 3 different places.
So how much more?
Well,
Pulling me, I don't know.
No, we appreciate you, Queen. Thank you.
I appreciate it because I be pulling back like, wait a minute.
But sometimes, need this therapy.
No, that's why I say I appreciate y'all because I trust this
more than anything, right? I'll be on the phone like, you got it.
Yeah.
Talking to those cameras.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and y'all give your mom my love.
I will.
All right, y'all keep
Thank
it
you.
Yes, thank you.
Man. So yeah, this is dope, being able to build, and I see definitely the ladies are a lot more receptive, and you know what I'm saying? But we definitely had the fellas come in and help out too.
Yeah, we did.
You know?
It shows like women utilize additional factors when they're weighing these decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Men seem to be somewhat singular based on how they weigh their decisions.
Yeah.
Women have a tendency to think a little bit more through it. Now, I don't know if that's just on the percentages based on who we've been able to dialogue with.
Yeah.
Right. But they seem to see a wider spectrum.
They do. They have more accountability, I feel.
I think because they carry seeds, they got to think about the future, and they're not trusting about anybody that might be a wolf in sheep clothing.
That's real. That's how they defining Trump. You know what I mean?
Where
they're like, we don't trust that nigga.
We going, and you can see with the melanated man situation in this country, we keep coming back for more. We keep coming back. Oh, now let them forget.
And our conversation is about, yo, maybe he gonna bring us the bag. Or maybe he'll bring it.
What can you do for me?
Yeah.
Right? How could you, it's a welfare conversation. How could you help me help myself?
Right.
It's about.
It's a whole conversation. You know, borderline, it's a whole conversation. Because like I said, if you understand what's being said, they're still tweaking off the STEMI. The STEMI came because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So what are you really saying? Right?
Give us another pandemic.
Give us another pandemic so he could cut a check.
Yeah.
So you can feel responsible and important enough because you got a little bread in your pocket that you feel like you earned that. Right? Why don't you get out here and do business? Why don't we do business globally? Why we ain't did business with one another unified during whatever administration is in?
Yeah.
Why don't we look to do business overseas? Why nobody been to China yet to normalize our relationship with them people instead of seeing what it looks like through the eyes of the U.S.
Real talk, man. Real talk.
Beautiful. How old is it? Hey guys.
Nah, but again though, I think this was definitely a great build. You know, anything else I want to leave, you know, for the people at home watching this, who tuned in, who see you guys, you know what I mean?
I just want to know who is having the conversation amongst, I want to know who is having the conversation amongst their own, right? Like Blue is asking, like, why, who's being compelled to say, you know what, instead of a 2-party or 3-party, what about our party? What's our contingency plan? Like, when are we gonna tie our rags together, you know what I mean, and start doing business and start looking at, you know, the bigger picture, because we global citizens, it's a global stage. I'm not relegated to the 50 states and whatnot. I'm looking past that. I'm looking at BRICS. I'm looking at the Africa, the countries that took their liberation last year, you know what I mean? I'm looking at things of that nature and whatnot. So where's the group of melanated men and women who are like, yo, I want better for my children, and we not doing it underneath the quote-unquote rule of these people who every single administration, they never did nothing for us. So it's time to do for self.
Right, so my vote is a no vote of confidence. I'm actually compelled by what I see to get into politics. I think that I need to, you know, announce my candidacy and really come up with our program, right? What are our self-interests? We already have a political platform that we put together that existed for 6 or 7 years called the Facts Initiative. Food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter, right? I'm about to put that on my back and get into these every hood USA and campaign in front of our people to look like, what does advocacy look like for our people at a grassroots level? I'm compelled to believe that I can, if not 2024, by 2028, we can either be in that house or build our own house to rival that house. It's time that we take control, put our stake down. If this is our homeland, it's time to defend it. If this is our country, it's time to put on for it. These clown politicians, or the options that they give us that are non-substantiated and non-sustainable, right? We gotta do better, because I got nieces and nephews. I'll potentially have babies. Your babies is the ones that I'm willing to fight for, right? To say that not only do we deserve better, we're owed more, you know what I'm saying? And we're worth more than this clown shit show that they're putting in front of us. If we are to rival the machines and the migrants, you better get your act together. Melanated men in particular, grab yours. Get hold of your pair, you feel me? Feel yourself, and let's get to work.
I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the Benz. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple like Prince.